विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्बोधभूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। So the chapter 9 of this Pancadasi, a relatively bigger chapter, and it has 158 verses. And a very unique topic is discussed here, which is not available in most of the Vedantic text. And it addresses a very unique problem which is prevalent in the students of Vedanta, senior students of Vedanta. Yeah. See, the junior students, I make this distinction. For I don't have that division in my mind, but I'm trying. Initially, there is no understanding of Vedanta. Even you attend the classes, you don't have a big issue that you understand everything. So initially, you are trying to, I think, keep your foot into this. You want to understand the whole thing. Slowly, when the same thing is discussed again and again by the teachers with the help of different models, then you grasp the matter. Yes, definitely Vedanta talks about the self, and self is I. Initially the self is self. Yeah. Atma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Atma is free from birth and death. This is a very, very, very primitive state of a knowledge. Primitive state. Atma is like this. Atma is like this. Teacher says I, and teacher says Atma, but you don't bother about that I. You pick up that Atma is like this. Believe my words, this is how I was. And I am sure everyone was in this state. You people are very senior, but now I'm saying, earlier in those days, Atma is like this. Oh, Atma is Brahman. It goes on for several, maybe for a few years. And then you understand, yeah, I am Atma, I am Brahman, I am Nitya Buddha, Shuddha Buddha Mukta Sabhavaha, I am free from birth and death. I don't have a Punya Papam, I am not a Karta, I am not a Bhokta. I am free from any division. There is one Atma, there is one I which pervades everything. There is no other thing which is true, which is essence in the creation. There is no being in the creation. I am the being in the creation. I am just a conscious being, not a conscious individual. I am consciousness, which is the being. Slowly you develop this. It takes number of years. It's not an ordinary thing. And with this understanding, then I say you have a jnanam. What I repeated all this, what I said, those statements, you say, yeah, Swamiji, I don't have a doubt. If you want to make me elaborate that I am not a Karta Bhokta, well, I can tell you some more sentences regarding that how I am not a Karta Bhokta. Then you have understanding about I, the Atma, that it is Karta Bhokta, it is not free from doership, etc. Yeah, then why don't you say that you have a Jnanam of Brahma Jnanam or Atma Jnanam? No, I still feel that I don't have a Jnanam. Means I have no realization. Either you understand that when you say I don't have a Jnanam, either you are saying you have still not realized, that's your understanding, you have not realized Atma. Either you are in your mind it is there that you have not experienced the Atma, whatever it is, or you have no knowledge of Atma, whatever you say. But you are not, you somehow you not ready to accept. I say you are a wise person. You say I am this, 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 I am this. Then you are a wise person. No, no, Swamiji, please don't tell me. Please, please, please don't tell me. So even with the understanding, clear understanding, born of Shravanam, Mananam of number of years, you are not ready to accept that you have understanding. What you say is because you have a Jnana Vritti. What you say about Atma, I, is born of mind. It is in thought form. Your understanding is in thought form, which is called Jnana Vritti. Even so, Jnana Vritti means Jnanam. If you have a Ghata Jnana Vritti, then you say, yes, I know part. So same way you regarding I, when you say I am consciousness, limitless consciousness, clear understanding if you have, and I am free from any doership, etc. I am free from punya papam, I am timeless, I pervade everything. All this clear understanding if you have. If you don't have a clear understanding, then Shravanam Mananam is the criteria. If you have a clear understanding, and yet there is a Dehatma Buddhi, you know it is an error. You have a clear understanding that I am Brahman, but the still I is connected to the body mind sense complex due to the habit, old habit, beginningless habit, which is an error. Very clear, you are very clear that it is an habitual error that to take oneself as a body mind sense complex. Well, then the solution is Nidhyasanam. But with clear understanding is there, and yet you say you don't have an understanding. You don't have a Jnanam, let us say. Clear understanding is there, and still you say I don't have a Brahma Jnanam. Just because you are waiting for some realization, or you are waiting for some experience of Brahman, whatever it is. With a understanding of Brahman, still you say I don't have a Brahma Jnanam. Then it is some different obstacle. It's a different obstacle. And majority of people have this issue. Majority of the people who are very much committed to this knowledge, they still say they don't have a knowledge. And therefore, that is the issue addressed here. That issue is called Sambadi Brahmaha. Sambadi Brahmaha means the knowledge which you have, because of obstacle, you take it as a seeming knowledge. I don't have a real knowledge, as if. You have a knowledge, real knowledge, but due to obstacle, you don't take it as a knowledge. You take it as a seeming knowledge, waiting for some real knowledge to happen in future. This is a peculiar obstacle, which is called Sambadi Brahmaha. And then we are going to discuss also Visambadi Brahma also. We'll see that. Anyway. So, there are, in this Jnanam, now when we are discussing this Brahma Jnanam, I would like to talk about the obstacles present in this knowledge. Several types of obstacles are there. First is a known obstacle. So, known obstacles means um, that obstacle is regarding the purport of the scriptures, purport of the Shastra, purport of the Upanishads, which is called, that obstacle is called Pramana Asambhavana. Not being convinced of the interpretations of Vedanta, not being convinced. Like you and me are convinced right now that Vedanta talks about the oneness between the individual and Ishvara, between oneself and Brahman. Now you are convinced. But suppose you are not convinced. No. Vedanta talks about the not oneness. Vedanta talks about the relationship between the oneself, the individual, and Brahman. And that relationship is not of identity. It's a relationship of a part and whole. That is what Vedanta talks. Third one says, well, Vedanta talks about a clear-cut division between the individual and the Ishvara or Brahman. So this is an obstacle. What is the real, what is the interpretation, clear interpretation of the Vedanta in terms of its purport? Not clear. Obstacle. That obstacle goes away only by repeated listening to the purport of the Shastra. What is the purport? What is the essence? What is the real subject matter or the main subject matter of Vedanta? That itself takes number of years to arrive at. That yes, Vedanta talks about this identity between oneself and Brahman. There is really no division between oneself and Brahman. Oneself is Brahman. Due to ignorance, while there was a division, I thought they are different. But I am really not different from Brahman. I am Brahman. Due to ignorance, while the division was there, etc., etc. So this will go away with the help of a Shravanam, repeated Shravanam, systematic study. It involves a systematic study and systematic study for a length of time, number of years. Then this will go away. That obstacle will go away. The second obstacle is a logical obstacle. Okay, there is a oneness between the individual and Brahman. Then what about this duality, all this duality? Oneself is Brahman. Brahman means non-dual. There is one non-dual Brahman. That's a reality. Then what about this duality? Shastra said that's okay, but what about this duality? Shastra says it is mithya, but I don't think so. I don't think so. What you experience, how can you call it mithya? Shastra says oneself is Brahman, and therefore oneself is limitless. I am experiencing all kinds of limitations. So this is a logical problem. Shastra's purport you have ascertained, but you have still issues regarding, you have certain doubts regarding that knowledge which is scattered by the Shastra. Ishvara is just oneself. Wow, what is this? I can't accept it. Jagat is mithya. I can't accept it. I am free from all limitations. I don't have any birth, death, etc. I don't accept it. Let the Shastra say. I understand Shastra's purport is this, non-dual Brahman, but it is difficult to digest. Several doubts. Then, well, Mananam resolves it. This is another type of obstacle. Doubts pertaining to the knowledge. First, doubts pertaining to the purport of the Shastra. Now that is clear through Shravanam. Then still doubts remain. Let the Shastra say this is Mithya and everything, and Brahman is Satyam, and I am Satyam, and etc. That's okay. Shastra says that, that's fine. But I have my own doubts. So this is another type of obstacle, logical obstacle. These are the known obstacles. Both. Pramana Sambhavana, Prameya Sambhavana, both are actually known. And since the obstacles are known, a remedy to remove the obstacles are also known. Naturally. What is a remedy to remove? What is the purport of the Shastra? Well, that was a big doubt. What did you do? Well, Tatparya Lingam. We have discussed several times. Shadlingas, etc. are there, right? To ascertain what is the purport of every Upanishad, well, there is a known method developed by the Mimamsakas. Upakarma upasamharo abhyaso apurvata phalam jnana arthavadopapattischa lingam tatparya nirnaye. I added some other line from somewhere. So these are the Upakarma Upasamharo. Open the book of Upanishad and see how the topic begins. Main subject matter, well, then it definitely begins with that opening statement. And then, of course, you will find in between, also you find at the end. Then that could be the subject matter of this Shastra. And then there are other lingams we have discussed so many times. Anyway, so this is so method to remove the known obstacle, what is the purport of Shastra, etc., which is known, that obstacle is known to you. Well, there is a known method to remove it also. And you have a doubt pertaining to the Mithyatvam, etc. Shastra says Mithya, but I have my own doubts. Well, there also logic you can apply. Because Shastra says Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Brahman is the one which supplies existence to the entire creation, including the space. And therefore, definitely, well, what borrows existence must be Mithya. What borrows existence must be Mithya. Karyam is Mithya. Karanam is Satyam. That's the logic. Please understand this. Karya Karana Prakriya is a logical method. That is how Shastra's vision, of course, is that the world is Mithya and Brahman is Satyam. But Shastra introduces Brahman as the Jagat Karanam for this purpose only. Otherwise, why should we talk about the creation? If one non-dual Brahman is there, that's a reality. Why to talk about all names and forms and how they came and all this, all the elements and elementals, and it's for that purpose only. It's a logic that Karyam is Mithya. Karyam is non-separate from the Karanam. And Karanam, the Brahman, which is in the form of existence, well, lends the existence, supplies the existence to the entire, all the names and forms, and therefore names and forms appear real. They appear as existent, independent, but actually they are not. And therefore, well, that is Mithya. And the same way body, mind, sense complex also. So logically you understand the Mithyatvam. And thereby the doubts pertaining to the Mithyatvam of the creation and the Satyatvam of the Brahman or Atma or the Self, well, can be understood. So known method, right? Known method to remove the known obstacle. Either it is a Pramana Sambhavana, either it may be a Prameya Sambhavana, but it is known method. But here, even though Jnanam, the understanding is there, but still you say, well, I don't have a Jnanavritti or I don't have a Jnanam. You understand? When I say I am Satchidananda and I stopped, suppose I say I am Satchidananda and then I stopped. In your mind, a whole thought pattern starts. How I am Satchidananda? Because you have clear understanding that I, the Atma, is Satchidananda. Then I said, well, you have a Brahma Jnana, Atma Jnana. No, Swamiji, I don't accept that. Still I have jnana. That is, then what is obstacle? I don't know. That's true. It's an unknown obstacle. This obstacle is not known. Unlike these other two things. Pramana Sambhavana, Prameya Sambhavana, obstacles are known. So known methods we applied in form of a Tatparya Lingam or in form of a logical analysis, establishing the relationship of Karanakarya, etc. So that is known. But here it is not known. Say this, you say, I am free. You are free self. Right? You are free self. Don't you understand free self? No, I understand. I am free self. I am free from effect of time and place and these and that. Well, so if you, so then why don't you accept that you have freedom? You are free. No, Swamiji, I with all my humbleness, I say, well, I'm moksha is still away from me. Habba. Teacher will not understand what's obstacle in you. Student doesn't understand what's obstacle in me. Why I am doing like this. He doesn't know. Teacher doesn't know. Unknown obstacle, which is called adrishta, unknown. To remove adrishta, well, we have certain methods. Adrishta, to remove adrishta. Adrishta means here some papa pratibandha. Pratibandha obstacle. Some form of papa. To remove that, there are methods which can remove this papa. And the best is upasana. That's the way. So we have to try some other method to remove this unknown. So in Vidyaranya in this chapter says, well, only method he can prescribe is continue to dwell on your understanding itself repeatedly. You have understanding, but you are not ready that you have an understanding or jnanam. So even though for you it is not a jnana vritti, but you repeat that vritti. That's it. What is that vritti? That simming vritti for you, simming jnana vritti for you. Not from the teacher's standpoint. From teacher's standpoint, he has a jnana vritti. From his standpoint, he has no jnana vritti. If he has a jnana vritti, he will say he has a jnanam. Jnanam will be in the form of a jnana vritti. That's it. There is no other thing. It's 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. But student somehow says he doesn't have a jnanam. Teacher knows that he has a jnanam, but he is not ready to accept. Teacher, for Swamiji, you said teacher doesn't know. Teacher doesn't know what is the obstacle in the student. Please understand what. Otherwise, you will feel that Swamiji is contradicting. No, I am not contradicting. Teacher knows he has a jnanam because he has clearly understood. So jnanavritti is there. Teacher doesn't know why he is not ready to accept. That teacher doesn't know. Student doesn't know why he is not ready to accept. That's how obstacle is unknown. Obstacle is unknown. To remove unknown obstacle, which we call, known means drishtam. Unknown obstacle means adrishtam. Some kind of a papam is there, which doesn't allow him, which does not allow him to take the knowledge as knowledge, but he takes it as a seeming knowledge. This is a obstacle. That obstacle is called sambadi brahmaha. Brahma, seeming. Anyway, so ham brahmas. So teacher says, well, you do avrutti. That's it. Avrutti of your seeming knowledge. What seeming knowledge? For a student, what is seeming knowledge? I am Brahman. The other student, well, due to some punyam, both have understanding. I am Brahman. Both have listened to the same teacher for a length of time. Both have an understanding, I am Brahman. One has a clear understanding. He says, I am Brahman, is that Jnanam is there. But I have this habitual error. Because of that, the I place again and again in the body mind sense complex. And well, that is, contemplation can remove this habitual error. Definitely. Because that knowledge which is there in the conscious mind has to be percolated into the subconscious, where all the habits are lying. And therefore, one definitely, Swamiji, you are repeating so much, but what should I? Because this obstacle, sometimes we don't understand what is the obstacle and what Vidyaranya is addressing. So I am repeating again and again. You may feel little boring, but then please forgive me for that. So this one definitely employs a method of contemplation. Because he says, I am having jnanam, clear knowledge, born of shravanam and mananam. But there is a habit of taking oneself as again embodiment sense complex. That's a habit and that's an error. Well, so therefore I should get rid of that habit. See, he employs nidhyasana. But this person says, I don't have knowledge at all. He has also knowledge, same knowledge. Aham Brahmasmi. So teacher tells him that, okay, do avrutti of Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. So the seeming knowledge for you called Aham Brahmasmi, you don't have real knowledge, you said. Aham Brahmasmi, if you repeat like this, that seeming knowledge gets converted to knowledge because obstacle is removed. And now you have Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam like that student. And again, of course, Dehatma Buddhi is there. Well, you will say, I also will now resort to contemplation in order to get rid of this Dehatma Buddhi, which is an habitual error. Could you follow? So he is one step behind that the other person. That's how it is. So, Jnanavrutti, Avrutti. Jnanavrutti, Avrutti, repetition of a Jnanavrutti is Nidhyasanam. Repetition of a Jnana Abhasa Vrutti. Why Jnana Abhasa? Swamiji, it is Jnanam, but for that person, he doesn't say, I have Jnanam. For him, it is just a Abhasa. He is really waiting for Jnanam. Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam is different, he says. Could be he may be thinking that Aham Brahmasmi, such a kind of experience should occur. Whatever it is. But even though he has clear understanding, for him it is not clear understanding. Then we say, well, for you it is a Jnana Abhasa, don't worry. Do the Avrutti, repetition of that Jnana Abhasa Vrutti. Say Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. So one is doing a Nirguna Brahma Upasana. One is doing a contemplation, Nidhyasanam upon Nirguna Brahma, that is Atma actually. So the difference between Nidhyasana Upasanam is this, that both are actually Jnanavrutti and Jnanavrutti Avrutti. But when you do this Jnanavrutti Avrutti, well, Avrutti means a repetition, then definitely it is a Nidhyasanam. If you don't take the Jnanavrutti as a Jnanavrutti or Jnanam, well, then we'll say it is a Upasana. And this Upasana can definitely take care of this Adrishta, Papa Pratibandha, etc., Adrishta obstacle. And well, that happens because this is a Prarabdha. It's purely Prarabdha. Prarabdha is brought to the knowledge, but still he is not able to assimilate it. Well, then this kind of not even able to own up that I have a jnanam. That much obstacle. Well, it is due to prarabdha. So it can take care of. Upasanam can take care of. And then once he does upasana, that obstacle goes away. And then he says, yes, I am Brahman, that is very clear. Then now what obstacle? Well, because of now Dehatma Buddhi still that is there. So that goes away by Nidhyasana. And Shastra gives the example for this in Vichar Sagara, in Sankshepa Sharirika, etc. is there. Very elaborate discussion to explain this kind of error. That a king goes to a forest for hunting, and while he was hunting, well, he saw his minister called Barchu, and when king sees this Barchu, his minister, he was taken aback, startled, because in kingdom and for a king also, it was not known that this minister Barchu went to forest 10 years ago for some purpose, and he was reported to be dead. He was not dead, but he was reported like that he is dead. And so everyone knows, including king, that he has died. And king was very, very sorrowful, cried for months, and then he forgot now. And why he cried? Because he was a very clever minister. And but due to some kind of a, some kind of a scheme done by these all ministers, other ministers, that when he went to forest, they declared that he was eaten away by the tiger, and he is dead. So now if he appears in the kingdom, well, people will take him as a ghost. So he did not go to the kingdom then. But after 10 years, when the king went to the forest, he saw, because he was alive naturally, he saw Barchu with a long beard, etc. But king also had that kind of a knowledge that, well, he is dead. And therefore he does, even though he is seeing Barchu, he takes this as the ghost of Barchu. Yeah, ghost. He is seeing really king, Barchu. Barchu Jnanam is there. Still he is not ready to accept that he has a Barchu Jnanam. He says he has a Barchu Bhoot Jnanam. Could you follow what I am saying? So this is how it happens. With his own eyes, he is a Pramata, eyes are Pramanam, and Barchu the Prameya. All three are in contact, and therefore Barchu Prama is there. But due to that obstacle, the old thing that he has died, and he was eaten away by this lion or whatever, tiger, etc. So he is dead. So that is the obstacle. Due to that obstacle, even though really the Jnanavritti, Barchu Jnanavritti is there, Barchu Prama is there, he is not ready to accept as a Barchu Prama, Barchu Jnanavritti. He thinks that he is seeing, it is a seeming knowledge of a Barchu. This is a ghost actually, Bhoot Barchu. So he concluded that he has not a Barchu Darshanam, but ghost Darshanam. And we know, suppose if someone asks us that king has a real darshanam of a Barchu or a bhuta darshanam of a Barchu, well, he has a real darshanam. For us, it is a real darshanam. We say also he has a right knowledge, but for a king, it is not a right knowledge. Exactly like this. We all are like Vedantic teachers, in case of this Barchu. A king should take it as a Barchu Darshanam. He is Barchu only. But everyone is, under the same spell. All citizens and all had the same obstacle, that Barchu has died. And so all are seeing Barchu. Whoever has gone in a retinue of a king, all are seeing Barchu. Barchu Vritti, Barchu Jnana Vritti is there. But they say, this is a seeming Jnana Vritti. This is a Barchu Bhuta Darshanam we have. Barchu is not there. So this actually king doesn't require a new Barchu Jnanam, but because of obstacles, he was not accepting it as a right knowledge. He has Barchu Vritti only. He doesn't lack Aparoksha Jnanam, Pratyaksha Jnanam of a Barchu, but because of some that Pratibandha, he refused to accept it as a knowledge. So it is very, very beautifully described in Vichara Sagaram. You can read also. So No new pramanam, new knowledge, means of knowledge, etc. also is required. Available anubhava itself is virtue anubhava, but still he takes it as a ghost anubhava. And he is naturally, in his case, of course, we should not say he will wait for the real virtue anubhava, because for him it is a dead, that's an obstacle. So no new experience, no mystic experience, etc. is required. In the same way, student also listens to Mahavakya. Mahavakya is pramanam for aparoksha jnanam of Brahman or Atma. And so through Mahavakya I understand also that I am Brahman, etc. Because Mahavakya will give aparoksha jnanam. Mahavakya says you are Brahman. And when you understand that clearly that I am Brahman, that is a clear understanding. That is a jnana-vritti. Even after that, one says that still I don't have a Brahma jnanam, I don't have aparoksha jnanam, let us say, of Brahman, then definitely it's an obstacle. I have aparoksha jnanam, I am Brahman is clear, but that I place again and again in the deha, and that's a different thing. Therefore, to get rid of this dehatma buddhi, I should do a avrutti of the jnana vritti. The clear jnana vritti born of shravanam mananam is there. I have to see again and again. I have to dwell upon this teaching again and again. I have a jnanam. That's the one thing. But I don't have jnanam, even though he also has a clear understanding, but he says I don't have a jnanam at all. There is a question of contemplation. And that jnanam will take place in the future, etc. That's an obstacle. So, student refused to accept as a aparoksha jnanam. And that's how, postponing liberation as though, postponing moksha as though. So anyway, so here this kind of an obstacle is there, and therefore, Brahma Tattva Upasanam has to be done. Nirguna Brahma Upasana has to be done. And as you repeat again and again, that whatever, that seeming understanding for you, that Aham Brahmasmi, you repeat again and again, then the obstacle will go away. And you will accept that you have a clear understanding of Brahman, I am Brahman, etc. Now I am clear. But Dehatma Buddhi still is there, and therefore then he also definitely resorts to Nididhyasanam. First Upasanam, then Nididhyasanam for that person. For some people, Prarabdha is such where the obstacles are not much, then he says, I have clear understanding, but Dehatma Buddhi, due to beginningless time, that error is there, and therefore it pops up again and again. Then for I have to do avrutti of this teaching. I have to dwell again and again on this teaching, Aham Brahmasmi. So that is a different thing. So anyway, so this is called Sambadi Brahma. Even though knowledge you have, but you take it as a seeming knowledge. You are waiting for real knowledge to take place in future. So that's called Sambadi Brahma. So a jnana-vritti which appears as though you don't have a jnanam due to obstacle. Student refuses to accept. Like Bharchu-vritti. The Bharchu-vritti in the king is a Sambadi Brahma. For the king. We say, suppose if you know the Bharchu is alive, we say, you are seeing, oh king, you are seeing Bharchu. You are not seeing a ghost of Bharchu. Even though there is a jnana-vritti of Bharchu in a king's mind, but due to obstacle he says, it is not I am not seeing Bharchu, I am seeing a ghost of Bharchu. That kind of a thing. This is called Sambadi Brahma. And such a Sambadi Brahma, is repeated, means I am Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Such a seeming knowledge for that person, he says, I have seeming knowledge. We say, don't worry, repeat it. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Whenever you find time, that will remove this adrishta obstacle, and you will say you have a knowledge. This is a unique topic, I tell you, Sambadi Brahma. And he is going to give so many examples of a Sambadi Brahma. He is not just saying he goes and shows in a Vyavara how Sambadi Brahma takes place. Visambadi Brahma also is there, we will discuss. Okay, let's go to now verse number 1. Sambadi Brahmavad Brahma Tattvopastyapi muchyate Uttareta Paniyetah Shrutopastiranekadha. So Vidyaranya introduces a Aham Brahmasmi Upasana. or Sambadi Brahma Upasana. For those students who wants to, who basically, who refuses that they have a clear understanding, they have jnana. Based on what? How he introduces upasana? Who told him to do that? No. He says tapaniye, uttare tapaniye. Well, that is this Sambadi Brahma, and to get rid of this Sambadi Brahma or Sambadi Brahma Upasana, etc., has been discussed in Nrsimha Tapani Upanishad. So Shruti Pramana is there. Acharya is not talking just out of his own imagination or something. So Aham Brahmasmi is generally a Nididhyasanam, but here peculiarly Aham Brahmasmi Avrutti is a Nididhyasanam, going again and again to this teaching. But Swamiji, Nididhyasanam is not just Aham Brahmasmi. But I don't say much. Please understand me. So Aham Brahmasmi, Swamiji, you never said before that Aham Brahmasmi is Nididhyasanam. Well, see, the Nididhyasanam is of two types. The purport is Aham Brahmasmi. The first Nididhyasanam is they call it as a it's a abhyasa. One is this is a Brahma Abhyasa. Brahma Abhyasa Nididhyasana. Abhyasa Avrutti. Repetition. And it's a Brahma Abhyasa. What is Brahma Abhyasa? Aham Brahmasmi. That's Abhyasa. That's Avrutti. So we don't do, and nobody can do, Swamiji. Don't say this kind of things. Please understand. Suppose you are reading your own notes, right? You are reading your own notes based on a class taken by any teacher. What is the purport of that? What is the purport? Aham Brahmasmi. You listen to a given teacher, etc. A particular class, he is taking certain text. What is the purport? Aham Brahmasmi. There is no other purport. If you see some other purport, better switch on to Shravanam. Please leave Nididhyasana. Please leave. If you feel that he is talking, but I feel the purport is not Aham Brahmasmi, purport is something else, well, then definitely you need to ascertain the purport of the Shastra on yourself. You should decide based on the teaching given by him, the teacher. So but Swamiji, he is discussing right now Pancha Koshas and etc. Purport is what? Whether he introduces Pancha Kosha, whether he talks about a Jagrat Avastha. Please believe me, you have to connect, whether teacher connects or not. Every class you have to connect. That he is talking about Aham Brahmasmi. Mahavakya is a purport, whatever the way and wherever he is just talking about, like the first mantra in the Mandukya talks about this, the Omkara is introduced, and then Akara is this Jagrat Avastha and Jagrat Prapancha and this and that and Vishwa and Virat and all. Where is Aham Brahmasmi? But that is introduced ultimately to come to the Turiya only. And therefore, any class which you listen, any class notes you read, anything which you discuss with your other students, or you listen to teacher directly, whatever it is, the purport is Brahma Abhyasa. That's a Brahma Abhyasa Nididhyasana. And the Yoga Vasishtha, well, definitely very beautifully talks it. Tat Chintanam, Tat Kathanam, Anyonyam, Tat Prabodhanam. Etad Ekaparatvam cha Brahma Abhyasam Vidurbudaha. Ekaparatvam. Tat Chintanam. Whether you just dwell upon the teaching. Tat Kathanam. Or you say, you talk Vedanta to someone else, like a teacher talks. You teach somebody, suppose. Anyonyam tat prabodhanam, sharing. Etat ekparatvam. Everything is ultimately connected. You are committed to one thing. Brahma Abhyasam. Aham Brahmasmi. So, this is one type of Nididhyasana. And second type of Nididhyasana also has a purport Aham Brahmasmi. And that Nididhyasana is a particular aspect of the teaching. Because everyone has a baggage. Every individual has a baggage. Bigger obstacle. Not simply that I am individual. I am an individual with a baggage. Carrying since beginningless time. Born of several types of experiences. And some of the experiences are very, very bad experiences. Has created a very, very big impact on my mind. But that when the impact was created, it was in a conscious mind. Then it went to subconscious or unconscious, whatever you call. And that pops up again and again. People don't know sometimes that why they are so fearful. They don't know. If they look into their past in this life, they don't find that they had something has happened in their life so that they will have a fear now. But they are fearful. Some people have a prejudice or have all the time that they are nothing, insignificant. Everyone has, but this person is all the time always low opinion about oneself. So like that, different baggages are there. Everyone comes with a baggage. In that baggage, different things are there. And these are obstacles. Where is a question of I am Brahman? Right? So you have to address this kind of an issue by seating. There's a different type of meditation because it's unlike listening and unlike sharing and unlike teaching and unlike reading the notes. It is unlike. Means here you sit quietly in a posture of meditation described in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and do certain preliminary steps, go through preliminary steps, right? Samam kaya shirogrivam dharayan achalam sthiraha sampreksha nasikagram swam dishascha navalokayan pranapano samokrutva, etc. All. So you follow certain steps, 8 or 9 steps are there. You do. And then take that aspect of the teaching which can address your issue in your baggage. Why should I have a fear? Who is I? He is clear. Shravana Mananam is done because he is doing Nididhyasanam. He is clear that I am basically free from any kind of an effect from the creation because it is mithya. I am timeless. Therefore, there is no question that something can affect me. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. Well, nothing can burn me, nothing can do any injury to me. Sorry. Anyway, and everyone has that. So you sit in a meditation and address only those issues. Well, I am the only significant thing in the world. Everything is insignificant. Not that I am insignificant and everything is significant. That's a wrong understanding. I am the significant being. Everything is insignificant. And I will give you a hint here also. Suppose you said, Swamiji, what you say doesn't make much sense to me. Then read or listen to a talk of Puja Swamiji. I am unique. I am unique. How I am unique? There is nothing like me in this world. There is nothing other than me, little away. There is nothing like me in this creation. The whole creation is insignificant. Mithya. Anyway, so, and here you will not astonish. Suppose if you are astonished, oh, I am significant and everything is insignificant. Are you really astonished? Then please get up. Please get up. start listening, because still it is not clear. If it is not clear, teaching is not clear, there is a question of nididhyasana. Teaching is only for the people, contemplation is only for the people in whose mind the teaching is clear, born of Shravanam and Mananam. And therefore, if you really surprise, if you feel a surprise, I am significant, everything is insignificant, then start listening. Aham Brahmasmi Mahavakya reveals that you are significant. Everything is insignificant. Mithya. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, in other words. So, it's better to spend time in Shravanam. And it is possible that the same Shravanam can work as an Nididhyasana later. Anyway, so this is just by the way I said that. So Vritti Avritti. Jnana Vritti Avritti is Nididhyasanam. Jnana Vritti is there and still you say it is, you don't have a Jnana Vritti, means whatever is there it is Abhasa. Then Jnana Abhasa Vritti, from that person's standpoint, Jnana Abhasa Vritti Avritti is Upasana. Upasana also is Avritti, repetition of the same. Aham Brahmasmi, etc. So that's how it says, Nrsimha Uttara Tapaniye Shutaha Shutopastihi. So Upasti means Upasana only. So Sambadi Brahmavat Brahma Tattva Upastyapi Muchyate. Brahma Tattva Upastyapi. So Nirgun Brahma Upasana, Aham Brahmasmi Upasana. Upastyapi, it is Tritiya Vibhakti. So by practicing that, the Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Aham Brahmasmi Upasana, Sambadi Brahmavat, as in the case of a Sambadi Brahma, that is going to explain what is that Sambadi Brahma. I told you also, Sambadi Brahmavat, Brahma Tattva Upastyapi Muchyate, the person will be liberated from the obstacle. And he will say, yes, I know I am Brahman. So, Upasanam getting converted into that Nididhyasanam later, after removal of the obstacle. And then that is an assimilation also. So, this is a process. Ataha, since this is possible, Uttare Tapaniye Upastihi Shruta. Shrutopasti. So, Shruta plus Upasti. So, Uttare Tapaniye Upastihi Shruta. Shruta means it has been mentioned in the Shruti. Which Upanishad? Uttare. Shruti, which Shruti? Uttare Tapani. Aham Brahmasmi Upasti, Aham Brahmasmi Upasana has been mentioned. Anekata. In manifold ways you can do. In manifold ways. He will say a few things about that. And now he will explain what is this Sambadi Brahma, that this particular obstacle which we call Sambadi Brahma, what is this actually? So he will explain that. Through several examples. Second verse. Mani Pradeepa Prabhayoho Mani Buddhya Vidhavatoho Mithya Jnana Visheshepi Visheshortha Kriyam Prati. So first example is a Mani Deepa Prabha Drishtanta. Actually what he is doing is, he is giving a Drishtanta or the illustration based on a Pratyaksha, then based on a Anumana, and based on Shastra. So here the first example is in a Pratyaksha also, based on perception, this kind of a Sambadi Brahma happens. That's what he gives an illustration. So Mani Deepa Prabha Drishtanta. And here Mani Deepa Prabha. Prabha means, a light. Like you take, there are two rooms, let us say. And in one room, a lamp is there. And in another room, a gem, money is there. And both the rooms are closed. So, and you are outside the room. Both two people are there. In front of these two rooms, all over there is a darkness. And in these two rooms, in one room there is a lamp on the floor, and in another room there is a money jam is there. And definitely, then what happens? There will be a light which comes out from the room. You know, at the he will explain that, but I will tell you where the room is closed, but at the doorstep, door is also closed, but at the doorstep in a corner there is a little slit. From there, that light comes out, right? A light of the lamp or light of the gem comes out, and you are standing a little away from the room. So you see that there is a where the light from the doorstep comes out. Well, you feel that there is a gem inside the room. It looks same. The light comes out through the lamp from the room, that slit or the doorstep. Also appears like a gem in the dark, and the light comes out of the gem from that another room, same from the doorstep from the corner. That also looks like a gem. So both the people who are facing these two respective rooms feel that there is a gem inside the room. The light which comes out of the lamp at the doorstep, the person experiences as a gem. The light comes out from the gem, from that the other room, but the doorstep also is taken as a gem. And both will rush naturally to take that gem which is there inside the room. So one has taken the light coming out of the gem as a gem. The other has taken the light coming out of the lamp as a gem. Both have error. Brahma. But one will be having advantage. Right? One will have a advantage. One will have a no advantage. The light comes out of the lamp and you take it as a gem, and you rush to the room to pick up that gem, actually finds that there is a lamp only. And the one who has taken the light which comes out from the gem, he takes it as a gem, and he wants to pick up that there is a gem inside the room, and he opens the door and he finds a gem. Could you follow? So that is called Sambadi Brahma. The Brahma which will be helpful. You take a light of the gem as a gem, but you rush to pick up the gem from the room and you find the gem. So helpful. That error was helpful. What is error, Swamiji? The light of the gem is taken as a gem. Is error, but will be helpful. But the light comes out of the lamp, the person takes as a gem. So he says there is a gem inside the room, and he opens the door and he finds there is a lamp which was lighting there. That's not helpful. So that's called Visambadi Brahma. The error which turns out to be a curse. Visambadi Brahma. The error which turns out to be a blessing is Sambadi Brahma. Yeah. So Aham Brahmasmi is a seeming knowledge in me. I don't have a real knowledge. No problem. You have a Brahma actually. Because you have a knowledge, but you are not ready to accept. No problem. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. That Sambadi Brahma is there, will be proved blessing. Yeah, will be proved as a blessing. You do upasana of that Sambadi Brahma, obstacle will go away, you will accept it as a knowledge, and then you get rid of this habitual error, etc., and gain nishtha. So this is how the thing is. So for that, this is an example. We will see that in the next class. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ